fourth story building. What is it?
He's still rolling.
And he's then rolling down a hill, and you're like, dude.
Yeah. It's like the house on stilts in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yes.
Oh my
It reminded me of the Eddie like in my head.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. The Eddie Murphy skit where he talks about his aunt falling down the stairs. So like in my mind, the whole time he's rolling down, I'm going, oh my God, I'm falling down the stairs. Oh, my shoe. Oh, Jesus, Lord, help me, please.
Man, he flies
I'm still
out there.
falling.
For me, personally, it reminded me of Hot Rod and Andy
Oh,
Samberg.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
Yeah, he just keeps going. Well, then he gets under the bridge. And
Princess
sees-
Bride.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many good ones like that. He's underneath the bridge and he sees the cops coming and he tries to, because he's all fucked up.
Oh, he's real
he's
fucked
gotta
up.
hurt. And then he hops on the concrete deal and he falls down. He's like, oh no. He just fucking rolls and shit. His comedy in that part of it was pretty funny.
he does decent with weirdly with the comedy.
Yeah.
100%.
Even if it's not meant.
Well, he doesn't have his sunglasses anymore because the sunglasses are left upstairs, because she knocks, I guess they fall off of him or some shit like that. And his guns are there, everything like that. I don't think he has any weapons left anymore.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, and then he sleeps in the hallway at night,
Right.
Because that's got to suck because he can't go back to where he was. He can't go do anything. So then he gets up that next day and doesn't he go see what's his name first?
He goes to the
work site
The work
first.
site, yeah. Go talk to Keith David.
Yeah, and Keith David's like, what are you doing?
You killed so many people. That's why I'm not reporting you.
He's like, they weren't people. He's like, man, do yourself a favor.
I got a wife and kids.
Yeah,
Once again,
leave me out of this.
how many times does he just constantly, man, I got a wife and kids, man, leave me out of this.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in 3 years.
So
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Well, I'm trying to save your wife.
I have to say it.
Yeah.
So this is the obligatory. I've got a wife and kids. All right, now what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. All right, cool.
Well, when he goes back to the alley to get the rest of the sunglasses, he notices that the truck is there and he's got no sunglasses left. The box is gone. Everything's gone. So he gets in the back of it and that's whenever it starts raising. He's like, oh no. Oh, geez. And then he falls down. And Piper's reactions on a lot of that stuff, because whenever the truck starts to take off, he kind of gets up and he's all fucked up. That's when Frank comes back in. Frank makes one killer shot with that fucking money too. He's a good, 20 feet away.
Yeah, he does.
He's at 1 week's pay.
Right in the bucket.
Right in the fucking box. Piper doesn't move, nothing. It just curves and bomb. I wonder if that was on accident. Cause
Dude,
that would have been
that would've
awesome.
been
They did that
awesome.
18 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
And they didn't break character or they would have been like, holy shit, you made it.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was a really
Yeah.
smooth edit.
Yes. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
That alley still looks the same way that it did before. It's got a fence on it because there's been a lot of people that go back to the shooting sites of these,
Right.
which is really cool because that alley is iconic because of the fight scene coming up.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is again where he has to force him to wear those sunglasses. Somebody's like, hey, put on these sunglasses. Do you think you're really going to do it? If you're mad, you're like, I don't want any part of this. Leave me the fuck out of this. And he says, just put them on for a second. I don't know how he could have done it to where they didn't have to fight.
See, that's also what makes me believe that the brainwashing is where they're deterred from the things that will
Right.
make them see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe they're like, yeah, fuck it.
Because
Fuck you.
he was fighting so hard, and I was like, dude, if you just put the glasses on, this weird guy will leave you alone.
Yeah.
And that's what my thought was. If he didn't know that guy was crazy, just put the glasses on. It's not worth beating each other up over it.
Yeah, or not maybe, thinking things are a little bit weird. So he subconsciously put the glasses on without even thinking about it.
Right.
And he just did it. And he was like, holy shit, that's fucking.
See, he did it accidentally because he didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, marry and reproduce. No independent thought. What the fuck's going on?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kind of flips out. The fight scene.
Yes.
The greatest fight scene in history, I think. I really, they've modeled so much on it. I did watch a side-by-side comparison of the cripple fight.
Yes,
and
I did
that
too.
one. Yeah. And
From,
there was a
South
lot,
Park, yeah.
there was a lot left out, but it was still cool to see.
It was shot
them do
for
the same
shot.
thing.
There was a lot, though.
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
I have to do that now.
Yeah.
They practiced for 2
Jimmy
weeks.
versus Timmy.
Yeah.
Timuron.
Yeah. They practiced for 2 weeks in John Carpenter's backyard with Jeff Amata. and they really got it down. I mean, it's so fluid, but yet it looks like a street fight. You know, everything kind of put in together, all of the moves. They did a lot of wrestling moves, you know.
Of course.
But then they also did just a lot of punishing moves, like that first hit by Keith David where he like double punches him, like boom, boom, boom. He punches him in the face. He's like, put on the goddamn glasses. I love it how he hits it. His accent really comes out on that, and I like Piper's voice in that whole fight. And especially whenever he tries to hit him in the balls, he's like, "You motherfucker,
you dirty motherfucker!"
Yeah, that's what he says.
I fucking love that shit. And you know, and
then he headbutts him.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
All the interviews that they talk about that fight scene, like I watched one, they were on a panel somewhere, and you know, Piper's. You know, like the one part, and he always talks about it. He said the one part I really thought was really great is there were two friends fighting. And whenever I go after him with the 2x4, because he was really going after him too.
Right.
Like swinging that fucking thing hard. And then he hits the deal, breaks the back glass out of the windshield.
And he's like,
Yeah. And then he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. And then Keith David's like, and he smashes the fucking beer bottle and then cuts his own hand. He's like, God damn it. And then he starts laughing. And that's whenever they even fight even more.
Right,
you know?
right.
Because he's got the glasses in his hand so many times. Keith David whoops his ass again,
Right.
throws the fucking glasses over to the side and starts to walk away. And that's when he like delivers the final blow.
right.
You know,
this is like 6 minutes and like 40 seconds or something.
they kick each other's ass.
I'm telling you, about 3 minutes in, when they had a little break, and then they started punching each other,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, come on!" And that was only 3 minutes in.
They looked so
It went
tired.
twice.
Like it was a real fight, you know, like they were so tired and worn out from fighting. Keith David, the back of his head is all bloody and shit.
I was like, oh,
getting pummeled
damn.
into the deal. Just every part of it was just totally real. And then he finally puts the glasses on, and Keith David's like, "Holy shit, god damn!" He's all
Thank you.
yeah. And they walk over to the side because they see some people walking around. It's like, "Life's a bitch, brother. She's back in heat." There's another one-liner that just fucking nails it. You know, I like when they go into the hotel. You know, they get up there, and Keith David's like, "I want a room." The way he says it, so just like fucking cutting.
I still can't get over the life's a beach and she's in heat.
Yes.
Or like a bitch, but yeah. But you're just like, dude, what the fuck?
I know. Where are you getting this shit from? All of a sudden, he's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He really is.
One line, stick around. Then you get introspective, and I think this is where Piper does a really good job too.
Right.
Because him and Keith David are fucking beat up, bloody, worn to fuck. They go get a 6-pack of beer and some fucking Fritos, right?
Right.
So
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. Because I
After
mean,
you've had a almost 7-minute fight.
yeah, he had a week long fucking he had a week's worth of pay so they could go get some fucking Fritos out of the machine and a 6-pack of beer from downstairs. And then he tells a story about his dad, you know, and then that's when he's like, maybe they've been with us the whole time.
Right.
We just didn't know, you know, and then that's, I don't know, that scene really does lend a lot of the real liveness to it, to where people are just starting to doubt everything. And he's got somebody else to talk to about it.
Finally.
Sitting right with him, talking about it.
Where you haven't had that interaction before this point in the movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
correct. Yeah. And then the next day, Keith David's like getting groceries or some shit. He's got like bread and eggs and all that shit for a hotel. I don't know. It's weird. You know, they're going to have some bologna sandwiches. And that's
I don't
when
think it was that kind of hotel, bro. I think
Yeah.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
like get a room.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the dude's sleeping on the floor, you know.
Yeah.
They bump into that dude. But then Peter Jason sees him. And he goes up to his room. He's like, Frank. And then they go have their little powwow inside the actual, you know, the room. And he's like, Keith David's still just looking out the window. He's just like, God damn. You know, they're all like freaked out. He's like, we got a meeting tonight. We want you guys to be there. So they show up to that meeting, and that one dude with the fucking long beard and the sawed-off shotgun. So there's new things going down, brothers.
Welcome, brothers.
Yeah. You know, like points to his eyes, and he's got the shotgun, and he's just kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
They go in there, and it's most of the main characters from the actual homeless camp.
Right.
Like the dad and the daughter. Even the son is there, I think, too.
Yeah, this reminds me of the piece like where the Walking Dead characters all meet back up again.
Yeah. They somehow end and they get the contacts. So they
Yeah,
put the contacts in. And they said it's not so bad, no more headaches because, and they're Hoffman lenses, I guess, right? So they have a pile of Hoffman lenses, and then they have these.
So we
Hoffman
should talk
style.
about that because the Hoffman lenses were based off like something that. Let me get this right. There was a Hoffman TV back in the 50s, 60s. I don't remember which. And there was a big scandal around it that it was helping, or it was causing people to consume more, something like that.
Yeah, there was like an urban legend about they were actually running stuff that was influencing housewives to go out and buy dog food even if they didn't have a dog. I mean, Piper even said at one point, which he kind of misquoted it in something. I think it was a commentary saying that was real life. That's what really happened. But I think it's more of an urban legend type of a situation.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any validity necessary to it. But it's cool that that's off this like urban legend thing.
But the idea,
it's still in this movie. You know what I mean?
I
just wanted to make sure like. The audience knew about that.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
And the real reason why they use those type of sunglasses is because they still had them left over from Big Trouble Little China. Those are the same sunglasses that fucking Snake Plissken had.
Oh, that's
you know what
awesome.
I mean? Yeah,
I didn't know
like
that.
for real. Yeah, and that's how the sunglasses came into be because they had those sunglasses.
Really?
You know, so those were Jack Burton sunglasses, which was again, it was a nice coincidence because they had leftover stuff.
Sure.
Well, they used a lot of leftover props too, and we'll kind of get to that here in a second.
Yep.
Whenever they have a watch too, and the dude's like, "Hey, check out this Apple Watch. I don't know how they do it. It's a two-way radio," and then all of a sudden they poof disappear.
Right.
And he's like, "Huh." So Frank he totally grabs it, puts it in his pocket. And shit. You know, he's like, "Yoink." And then Meg Foster walks in because it's time to stop talking about it and do something about it.
She's like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know. Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah.
No hounds.
For once.
Yes. And then, yeah, that's whenever the cops bust in. They really destroy the whole place. They shoot up, everybody. Meg Foster's walking around like standing straight up, just like la 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 la. This is where Al Leong comes in.
Okay.
Al Leong or whatnot. They're in the alley. When they go into the alley, he's one of the first dudes that jumps through the alley and starts firing at the cops.
Oh, okay.
Up above, right?
Right,
That's
yeah.
him, and then he gets killed like instantly. It was nothing. And that's Piper's got that
during the raid of this meeting. Yes.
of that. Yeah, that's where he comes in. He's just there for a second.
Okay.
You can tell by his stance and the way he's pointing his guns and everything.
Nice. I'll have to watch that piece again.
And then Piper has that stupid stance with his gun again, where he's like firing from the side, like, brrr, and knocks down a whole bunch of shit. And then Frank's trying to fuck with the wristwatch. And he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to get this thing to move." And he's like, "Get down." He's like, "What? Get down." What? Oh shit.
Dude, that was one of my favorite parts. I even wrote that in my notes.
Yes. And he throws that shit behind him. It's like, and it opens the fucking portal.
He was like, "Frank, what? Frank, what? Frank, what? Oh no!" Or oh.
Yeah, he's like,
He made
"Oh
that,
shit."
Yeah, he made that really funny noise.
Oh shit.
I laughed. I literally laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah, and then Piper has like an endless clip in that part too because he literally just sprays everything.
Yeah, it was an 80s movie still.
But he was missing all the humans, or was he just mowing them down too? I need these answers.
they
Yeah,
were-
he was mowing everybody down.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
he
gonna
was
say,
killing
yeah.
everybody that was coming.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Then they jump down into the deal
And
because
the portal that's got a countdown.
yeah.
It's like
Because the
he
watch
gets
is
there in
malfunctioned.
1 second.
Yeah, the watch is malfunctioned, so you got 10 seconds to
Yeah.
go back to home base and get everything fixed.
Yeah.
So Frank jumps down. He's like, "Well, I'm not going down there." And he's like, "Just go. Where else are we going to go?" And so he jumps down at the last second, like, pew.
Of course. Action.
Yeah. Yeah. So they get down there. He doesn't have, because he threw away the machine gun. But this is where you get to see the actual foreshadowing because he takes the little gun that he has and he puts it in his sleeve. You see it right there. You don't see it anywhere else, and you have to really notice it. He's got the Desert Eagle, and then Frank's got that 9mm with the extended barrel on it or some shit, right? And, they're kind of walking through these corridors and they're like, "What language is this? This is fucked up," which is a cool set because, yeah. And then they see the dudes, the two army dudes or whatnot. And they're like, "Yeah, Operation, Purge is complete." And they're like, "Yeah, we kicked their ass.
Yeah.
Let's go get a pizza, bro." Yeah. This is when you get to see the real power behind everything.
Right.
Because all the elite are in this one ballroom. They just walk in with their guns. Somebody's going to notice that shit.
That's what I was trying to, like,
Completely. Somebody has got to
They
be
were
looking.
focusing on the speaker.
Yeah, which was fucking Randall Tex Cobb or some shit. He was like a big Texan dude with the fucking oil baron mustache and shit. And the nice beard and shit. And they're...
warm out today.
Well, yeah. But then,
Pepperidge Farm, remember?
you didn't get to see what happened to Buck Flowers until then.
Right.
He shows up, "Hey, boys. So I see you joined up." and they're like kind of hiding their guns and everything. He's like, "Let me give you the grand tour."